Mickey Mouse loved to ice skate on the lake in winter. There was something magical about gliding across the smooth, frozen surface, feeling the crisp air rush past his face, and hearing the soft scrape of his skates against the ice. But winter this year had been unusually mild, and the lake hadn't frozen over enough to skate safely. Not one to let a change in plans dampen his spirits, Mickey decided he'd go roller skating at the local rink instead. It wasn't quite the same as ice skating, but it was still plenty of fun. He laced up his sturdy skates, put on his warmest red sweater, and set off towards town. As he passed Goofy's house, he had an idea. Skating was always more fun with friends. "Hey, Goofy," Mickey called, cupping his hands around his mouth. "Come roller skating with me." Inside the house, Goofy was in the middle of a very serious game of checkers against himself. He was just about to make his winning move as the red pieces when Mickey's voice rang through the window. His long ears perked up, and his eyes lit up with excitement. "Shucks, great!" Goofy whooped, leaping up so fast that he knocked the checkerboard over. Pieces clattered onto the floor, but he didn't notice he was already on a mission. He ran upstairs to his closet, flung open the doors, and began digging through piles of hats, scarves, and old toys. No skates. He checked under his bed, nothing but dust bunnies. He peeked behind the couch, only a long-lost peanut butter sandwich that had seen better days. Goofy muttered, scratching his head. "Now where'd I put them skates?" Then it hit him, the shed. He sprinted outside, almost slipping on his own front steps, and dashed toward the garden shed. The small wooden building was crammed full of all sorts of odds and ends rusty tools, half-finished projects, a broken fishing rod, and even a dented trombone. But finally, after knocking over a stack of empty paint cans, Goofy found them his old roller skates. "Ha, there you are," he cheered, pulling them out. He blew off the dust and inspected them. They were a little worn, but they should still work just fine. He plopped down on an overturned bucket, laced them up, and then... Clunk! Goofy wobbled, nearly toppling over. Something felt off. He lifted one foot, then the other. His jaw dropped. 2 wheels were missing from each skate. Aw, shucks, Goofy sighed, slumping his shoulders. No wonder I haven't used them in years. At that moment, Mickey came around the corner and saw Goofy sitting there, looking dejected. "Uh-oh," Mickey said, tilting his head. "What's wrong, pal?" Goofy held up one skate and spun the remaining wheels. "Guess I can't come after all. Mick, my skates are missing some wheels." Mickey frowned sympathetically. "Well, that's a shame. Maybe next time, huh?" "Yeah," Goofy said, trying to sound cheerful, but Mickey could tell he was disappointed. Mickey patted him on the back. "See you later, Goofy," he said before heading toward the rink. Goofy waved half-heartedly as Mickey trotted off. He sat there for a moment, staring at his old, broken skates. Suddenly, the sound of wheels whizzing by caught his attention. "Move over, Uncle." Goofy looked up just in time to see Mickey's nephews, Morty and Ferdy, zoomed past him on their brand new skateboards. They whooped and laughed as they sped down the sidewalk, expertly weaving around obstacles. Goofy's eyes widened. Well, golly, would you look at that? He watched them in fascination as they zipped around, turning and twisting like it was the easiest thing in the world. Goofy had never tried skateboarding before, but it sure looked fun. I like one of them fancy boards, he mused, rubbing his chin. Excited, he ran inside and grabbed his piggy bank. He gave it a good shake, expecting to hear the satisfying clink of coins inside. Instead, rattle, Goofy opened the bank and frowned, a single button, and a slightly fuzzy fruit gum. Hi-ho, he sighed, that ain't gonna buy me a skateboard. He plopped back down on the front steps, thinking hard. There had to be a way he could get a skateboard without spending money. Then, suddenly, like a flash of lightning, a brilliant idea struck him. Goofy dashed back to the shed and grabbed his skates again. He studied them closely, turning them over in his hands. If he couldn't use them to roller skate, maybe he could use them for something else. He ran back inside, found an old wooden board in his garage, and got to work. With a few nails, some string, and a lot of determination, he carefully attached the remaining wheels from his roller skates to the board. He stood back, admiring his handiwork. Hot dog, he cheered. I done built myself a skateboard. A little while later, Mickey was walking home from the roller skating rink when he heard a loud whoosh. A blur of movement zoomed past him. He barely had time to react before he flattened himself against the wall. What in the... Goofy whizzed by, balancing on his homemade skateboard, arms flailing as he tried to steady himself. He grabbed a nearby tree to stop his momentum and turned to Mickey with a big, toothy grin. Hiya, Mickey, he caroled, waving excitedly. Mickey blinked. Goofy, where'd you get a skateboard? Goofy tapped the board proudly. Made it myself. Used the board and 2 pairs of wheels off my old roller skates. Mickey's jaw dropped. Gosh, I don't know why we call you Goofy. You're really brainy. Goofy chuckled, scratching his head. Aw, shucks, Mickey. I just figured if I can't wear my skates, I might as well ride 'em. Mickey grinned. That's some clever thinking, pal. Goofy beamed. Yup, and now I can skate anytime I want. Just then, Morty and Fur skated past them again. They skated to a stop and stared at Goofy's board in surprise. Wow, Morty said, that's an awesome board, Uncle Goofy. Did you really make that yourself? Ferdy asked. Sure did, Goofy said proudly. Morty and Ferdy exchanged looks. Hey, Morty said, think you could make one for us too. Goofy's eyes twinkled. You betcha. Just need some more old skates. Ferdy grinned. We'll ask around. As the sun set over the neighborhood, Goofy, Mickey, and the nephews laughed and skated together. It had started as a disappointing day, but thanks to Goofy's creativity, it turned into one of the best skating adventures ever. Wheels within wheels, Mickey chuckled. Goofy, you're a genius. Goofy, wobbling slightly, gave a goofy grin. Golly, Mickey, I just like to roll with it. And with that, he zoomed down the street straight into a bush. Goofy. Mickey laughed, running after him. It had been a good day indeed.